Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And this afternoon I rewatched a film for probably like the fourth or fifth time. Haven't done a review for it previously, at least not on the channel. And yeah, I decided to watch it. It's been a while since I've seen it, and I think a little over 3 years. So did watch it, loved it as much as I did the previous few times. It's I Love You Man, which is a romantic comedy. That's what it says, bromance, romantic bromance comedy film. It came out in 2009. I actually watched it for the first time in 2011, and then I watched it maybe four times since. I'm not really sure. And this should be the fifth or sixth time. The movie is basically about Paul Rudd, who plays this real estate agent guy called Peter Clavin. He makes a new best friend called Sydney Fife, and played by Jason Segel. So it's basically about their friendship much later in life. And this movie is about, like I said, romance. It's got a lot of comedy elements, and it's also got Rush in it. So Rush is one of my favorite bands. I haven't been able to watch this movie since the first time I'm watching this movie since Neil Peart died. The drummer Neil Peart, the best drummer in the entire world. Kind of like hits a little bit hard because but although I do watch a lot of live clips of the band on YouTube, but kind of this is a celebration, so I think that's the reason why it kind of felt a little hard. But yeah, they kind of bond over their mutual love for the progressive hard rock band Rush, and of course they're one of my top three favorite bands of all time. It's three joint favorite bands that I have: Pearl Jam, Bare Naked Ladies, Rush. So and they're in it for a little bit. So that's why I love this movie so much. It's also really funny. Even if the band weren't in it, it'd still be really funny. So this movie, basically, Peter Clavin is this, like I said, he's a real estate agent in Los Angeles, and he's just proposed to his girlfriend, Zoe Rice. She accepts. They're planning their future together. Comes up that he doesn't really have any male friends. He's always been a guy who's easily made friends with women. Women seem to like him a lot, and they make friends with him very easily. However, he doesn't really have any close friends. It's mainly like female acquaintances that he's got. At the office, everybody seems to like him, especially the women. And this kind of disturbs him a little later, bothers him a little later, I should say, not disturbs. Because Zoe calls up her close friends, and she's got two really close friends and a small group of other women as well. They're very close. She tells everything about her life to them, including her sex life. So it kind of seems odd that he doesn't really have anybody that he can talk to. He wants to go to the office and then let them know, not say during the weekend. Doesn't have anybody who's going to call and say, hey, I just got engaged. So and then spurred on by this conversation that he hears Zoe having with her close friends, he realizes that this is something which makes him odd among other people. So after getting some advice from his gay younger brother, he decides to try and make friends. So one of Zoe's best friends is Denise, played by Jamie Presley, and I swear I actually kept thinking that it was actually Margot Robbie in this film, but obviously not. They do look very alike. I mean, it's the first time I'm actually realizing that how similar they actually look. Her husband is played by Jon Favreau, who's a little bit boorish. He doesn't really like Peter, and so he's bullied by his wife to actually include Peter in some of their activities with his friends, but it ends up going all wrong when he pukes all over him. So he tries and makes friends with people, but finally, when he's trying to sell this huge house, the Lou Ferrigno estate. If you know who Lou Ferrigno is, the actor who played Hulk in the TV series in the 70s. So it's a big house, huge house, and he meets Sydney Fife, and they start talking about they start talking. They kind of get along really well, and they slowly become friends. They start bonding over their mutual love for Rush, um, and they meet for drinks, they meet for you know for dinner and all that stuff. They become really close friends, and he tells him a lot of things, including unfortunately the fact that it seems that Zoe doesn't want to perform oral sex on Peter, and that's something which you only tell your really close friends. And at the at the rehearsal dinner where Sydney's invited, he kind of makes a very awkward toast, and it's kind of apparent to everybody what he's talking about. So they they're still bonding. They play Rush in Sydney's garage, guitars, bass, and then miming the drums and all that stuff. And unfortunately, when so Peter tells that he's a little bit reluctant about, deciding to go sell the house of Lou Ferrigno on his own. He feels like he's not getting any bites. There's a lot of pressure from Lou Ferrigno. So, and he's mainly used to selling flats and apartments. So he thinks he's going to get with this guy who he doesn't really hate, but is really flashy and very advertising. So to help him, Sydney decides to borrow $8,000 from Peter, and then he puts these billboards of Peter all around on big skyscrapers and stuff, wherever you can put up billboards. And it's all these funny poses that he video shopped and all that stuff, Photoshop, sorry. James Bond, some cowboy and all that stuff. It actually causes a big rift between them. They actually stop being friends for a while, and but he actually starts getting more hits because of the advertisements, and towards the end, Zoe also had some problems with Sydney, but then she realizes that on the day of their wedding that he's kind of missing his who was supposed to be his best man. Their friendship was pretty quickly done, but at the same time, this is the first proper friend he's had. So she calls Sydney, who's actually on the way to the wedding, and he tells him to come, and then they have the moment, and it's all fun and all that stuff. The marriage takes place. It is a really fun movie. It's also, it is one for the guys. There's a lot of things about women in it as well, but it's a really fun movie. I enjoyed quite a lot. I've laughed myself silly every time I've watched it. It is a fun movie, and especially if you like Rush as well. Everybody kind of likes the comedy of Jason Segel and and Paul Rudd, but adding this element of it in the romance stuff, the bonding of music for one of my favorite bands as well, that is something which made me love it even more. Along with these actors in the cast that I just mentioned, Jon Favreau, Jamie Presley, Paul Rudd, Jason Segel, Rashida Jones, you have Andy Samberg playing Robbie, who's Peter's younger brother. J.K. Simmons plays the father, and he's hysterically funny in this movie. Jane Curtin plays the loving mother. Sarah Burns, this actress, she's kind of funny in it, but she doesn't really have too many lines. But yeah, she's kind of funny, and I don't think I've seen her in anything else. We also have a little small role by Aziz Ansari, and Thomas Lennon as well, playing this gay guy who kind of falls for Peter a little bit. And who else? You've got small roles by Jay Chandrasekhar and David Krumholtz, and that's basically it. So this movie, yes, you also have to say that Rush, Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson, and the late Neil Peart also come in as themselves. There's a scene where they are playing Limelight in the theatre. Beautiful. I'll give this movie a 9 out of 10. Absolutely love it. Thank you.